All right, we got a really good one for you guys today. We're going to be talking about building a buyer's list. Now, there's all different kind of ways you can go about doing this. This normally comes in my model somewhere along the lines of after you start getting leads, after you start negotiating deals and underwriting them, it's important that you eventually can sell your own deals. Now, if you want to go fast, you can find a JV partner that could just sell your deals for you. Eventually, there will come a time where you want to have real end buyers. In this training, I'm going to show you some savvy ways of doing this. It's completely free. And I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can spend some money to build a buyer's list as well. Some tools out there that maybe you consider using, and maybe some tools you should probably stay away from because they cost too much money. Basically, what you guys want to think about for the free methods is if you have time, you want to get to the nitty gritty, you can get in the weeds actually finding out who is buying these properties and get in touch with them in a way that actually provides value to the end buyer, not some like, hey, I want to send you deals. Like no one's going to want to pick up the phone with you. So let's talk about these free methods. So now we're over here in Zillow and look at this. I just chose a random area in the west side of Phoenix. And what I'm looking for is properties that have been flipped. So if I have a property in this neighborhood that was sent my way, whether it's my deal or someone else's deal, let's see if we can find a real end buyer. So I like to go in here and I like to look saying, okay, well, let's see if there's something that's been remodeled. So I just click on some of the listings and I can look for really nice houses that look new, click through some of the photos to see if they've been remodeled. And eventually I'm going to find something that looks like it's been rehabbed and renovated. Typically a dead giveaway is a gray or a white house like this one right here. Check it out. Assumable interest. Let's see if this was a flip. Let's scroll down and see, okay, it was sold in 2022 and this up for sale in 2022. Probably not a flip. They just don't have a ton of equity. Let's keep looking. It was a flip at some point, but not recently. Okay, let's check this one out. It's been on market 28 days. Looks like it was painted on the outside. Looks like it's lived in, so it's probably not a flip either. Normally flip properties, they are vacant. There's no furniture inside. Okay, here's one right here. Let's check this out. Let's see, 2 bed, 1 bath, 89 days on market. Jeez. Okay, let's scroll down here and let's see. Okay, I don't see anything there. If we look and we dig deep, we're definitely going to find something that has been renovated in this area and it looks like a flipper special. If I want to just cut to the chase, I can also go to Zillow and say, all right, give me everything that says renovated or remodeled. So that cuts it down a little bit. Click on 465. Okay, well, let's check this one out. 465, stunningly remodeled 4 bed, 2 bath. See the listing history. Okay. All right, so this property sold in July for $295 and then looks like what, 5-6 months later? Actually, not even. 4 months later, it was listed for $475. Boom. This is a flipper. What I could do, and I did this on the live masterclass. You guys can go back if you're watching this. You can go watch the recording inside of the school community. But what I would do is I would call Miguel Perez and I would say, Miguel, hey, I know you have this property off of Denton Lane, the 4 bed, 2 bath. I'm just wondering, I don't know if you're the flipper, you represent the flipper, but are they looking to pick up more properties? Because I have one that's off market in the same area and I'm debating on, do I buy it or do I just wholesale it? So I didn't know if your buyer was looking at picking up any more properties anytime soon. Literally that simple. You can hear the live call if you go to that recording, but that is one of the easiest ways to find real end buyers. So if you wanted to take this to the next level, a little savvy move that I like to do is I like to take other people's deals that get sent my way. So if you're a part of anybody's deal blast and you get addresses sent your way, I like to go pull up that address and look in the area and then call the other flips in the area and say, hey, are you looking to pick up more properties? I'm not necessarily trying to pass them off. I would just say like, hey, yeah, I just got a deal sent my way. It's not really in my criteria. It doesn't really fit my box, but I can send you more information on it. So it's one of the easy ways to have like real value to present to one of these agents or one of these flippers, whether they buy the deal or not. Hey, it's an easy way in the conversation. It's a great way to start building the relationship. That is just one of the free methods, one of the free ways to start getting opportunities to find real end buyers for your business. Now, let's go back to our flow chart here. Another free method of going and finding end buyers is through Facebook groups. Now, I will say Facebook groups, typically you're going to deal with what's called daisy chainers. It's people who say, I'm looking to buy houses. Sell me your I'm buying houses. Sell me a house. I'm looking for my next flip. They're really just wholesalers, and that's okay. I have no problem with wholesaling. I mean, I'm wholesaling, so what's the point? But the reality is, if I'm trying to get as much money as I possibly can on a deal, if I'm working with someone who's not the end buyer, they're going to want to make about $5,000 to $10,000 on my deal. That typically means I'm leaving $5,000 to $10,000 on the table by not getting connected directly with the end buyer. But if you're just getting started, it's one of the easiest ways to get going fast. Maybe you forego some of the money you could make just to make any money to get going. And then as you slowly build it up and as you have money coming in your business, you can start to invest your time or money into finding the real end buyers. But it's a great way to get going. You can post your deals in there. You can find JV partners partners. For this particular example off Zillow, who's buying homes in the west side of Phoenix? I have opportunities being sent my way. I don't know what to do with them. Guarantee you make that post into any relative Facebook group specific to Phoenix or real estate investing in general. You're going to have people that drop their name, their number, their email address. You can get connected with some potential JV partners simply by doing that. Now, another free method, the third way here, is getting added to Deal Blast. And I've said this before, like how this is relevant to Zillow flip properties or the Facebook groups in general. But what I like to do when I first got started, I had people sending me deals. I created an email address specific to wholesalers and agents to say, hey, send me your deal, send me your deal, send me your deals. And this email would get flooded with opportunities on a daily basis. What I would do is I would take those addresses and put them on a spreadsheet. And then after about a month, I would go back and I would see who actually purchased this home. I can go to my tax records or I can go to use tools like Batch Leads and something similar to see what LLC actually purchased the house that was sent my way. You'll find a lot of times that no one actually bought it, it didn't sell, but many times you'll find who the real end buyers are in your area. You can take those LLCs, you can go to a place called skipmatrix.com. You can skip trace those LLCs, get phone numbers, give them a phone call and say, hey, are you looking to buy more property? To see where you recently just bought 123 Main Street. So that's one of the easiest ways to start building your buyers list, as well as by finding who the real end buyer is. Now, all these free methods, you're trading your time for where you would spend money. There's softwares out there that help you find these people faster. But if you're just getting going and you don't have anywhere from 1 to 2 deals a month coming through your business, I wouldn't even worry about using paid software. I would literally just use Zillow and call flip properties and talk to agents. They will help you sell your deal and you'll be able to retain more money than potentially having to go 50-50 with someone unless they're providing a tremendous amount of value to you. Now, let's look at some paid methods. So when it comes to paid, in my mind, there's really 2 tools that I recommend using. And really just one, if I'm being honest with you. Some of the more popular ones that you guys have probably heard of if you're watching this video is something called InvestorLift. Now, InvestorLift has a free version of the software now where you can post your deals and you can buy buyer contacts, stuff like that. I'm personally not a fan of InvestorLift. In fact, my end buyers say, hey, if they get a lead sent to them or a deal sent to them from InvestorLift, they normally just ignore the text. Most deals go to die on InvestorLift because they're marketed for way too high. But deals happen there. But I will say InvestorLift, in my experience, is mostly filled with other wholesalers looking to take someone's deal and try to mark it up. Or a wholesaler being like, ooh, could this be a deal for my buyer? And reality is those wholesalers aren't sourcing their own deals and they're trying to use InvestorLift as a cheat way to get to the end product or get to the end deal. And normally it doesn't work. The property's too much. Like I just had one of my students, he didn't know any better, right? He's just getting going. He sent me a deal saying, hey man, I got this one for 85 grand. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, the numbers kind of make sense at 85 grand. I'm like, so where did you get this one? Oh, I got it on InvestorLift. Okay, what do you want to do with it? I want to wholesale it. I'm like, okay, well, what was it on InvestorLift for? He goes, 85 grand. I'm like, okay, so you got the deal on InvestorLift that no one else wanted to buy at their list price at 85 grand. And then you want to go sell it to someone else for more than 85 grand, 95, 105? Probably not going to work. Everybody's already seen it at 85. I go try to push it out for more. They're going to say, look, you're dummy. I could buy it for 85. Why would I pay you 100? Okay, so that's the reason why softwares like that typically don't work. Now, another tool that you guys could look at using, which is my favorite one, and I used this during the masterclass, is something called InvestorBase. Now, InvestorBase is $250 a month. Do not get this tool unless you're actively doing deals or you have a business that is actively selling deals for other people. Now, InvestorBase is really cool. Like I said, it's $250 a month. And inside of the software, I'm able to say, hey, I got this one property, over in the west side of town. This one property, they want $120,000 for it, $140,000. Well, in InvestorBase, as long as it's not in a non-disclosure state like Texas, I can see other fix and flippers and landlords who bought properties in the last 6 months, 12 months, whatever. And I can see what they actually paid for the property. I can give them a call and say, hey, look, I saw you bought this property over here for X amount. I got another property coming up. I did this on the masterclass and I actually got connected with one of the biggest buyers in Atlanta, Georgia by using InvestorBase. He had his phone number online, just reached out to him, had a real conversation, sent him 3 more properties in the last 24 hours. Craziness. It works really well and it's a great investment as long as you're doing deals. If you're not doing deals or you are not consistently doing deals, don't go invest this money. Go spend your time on free methods because it's probably the best use. But once you can afford it to get real end buyers, in my opinion, it's one of the better tools. Now, if you are in a non-disclosure state like Texas, you will get the buyer's name. You will get the buyer's phone number as long as they have it. They will actually skip trace it for you. It's not an additional cost. Crazy, I know. But if it's in a non-disclosure state, it just doesn't tell you what they sold the property for or what they purchased it. But it does tell you that they're doing flicks and flips or they're buying buy and hold. So you should probably give them a call. We just don't know the exact numbers they purchased. If you're in a disclosure state where they show this stuff, then you can actually do your comps on here too. You can say like, oh, well, they bought literally like the same house as mine that needed a bunch of work. They paid this much and they sold it for this much. That means they'll probably pay something similar similar for mine. It gives you a good insight, but still a great tool even in the non-disclosures. So guys, when it comes to building out your buyers list, this does not need to be some big, crazy, complicated process. If you're just getting going, don't spend money on building your buyers list. Go either find you a JV partner that has access to thousands of buyers and can help you sell your deals, or use free tool like Zillow, find the flip properties, call them, get connected. One of the easiest, fastest ways to be able to sell your own deals and retain more profit. If you want to watch a longer training on this, we spend about an hour and a half going through these methods and actually me doing it live with a good friend of mine, Tyler Pugh. You guys will love the training. It's linked somewhere here on the video, or you can go to school.com/no fluff real estate. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time.